In the remote wilderness of Montana, a routine family camping trip became the catalyst for one of the most disturbing disappearances in American history. The official files remain partially sealed, but the fragments that have emerged paint a picture of something far more sinister than a simple missing person case. Before we begin, make sure you're subscribed for more eerie discoveries. It was July 15th, 1999, just past noon, when the Walters family arrived at their designated campsite in the Glacier National Park backcountry. The location, designated as Site 47 in the park's remote Bowman Lake area, sat nestled among towering pines and granite outcroppings, accessible only by a narrow dirt road that wound through dense forest for nearly 12 miles. David Walters, a 42-year-old accountant from Billings, had planned this weekend retreat with meticulous care. His wife Sarah, 38, had initially resisted the idea of camping so far from civilization, but their daughter Jeannette had been enthusiastic about the adventure. The 16-year-old honor student had recently developed a passion for nature photography, carrying her new Canon camera everywhere she went. The family established their campsite according to park regulations, positioning their tent 30 feet from the designated fire ring. The surrounding forest pressed close on three sides, with only a narrow clearing providing a view of the lake's dark waters. Park records indicate the nearest occupied campsite was over 2 miles away, and the area was known for its isolation, even among experienced backcountry enthusiasts. According to witness statements, the first day passed without incident. The family hiked along established trails, with Jeannette documenting their journey through dozens of photographs. Sarah later described her daughter as being unusually focused during these excursions, often stopping to photograph seemingly mundane subjects like tree bark patterns or rock formations. The evening of July 16th brought the first signs of something amiss. David reported hearing what he described as rhythmic tapping sounds coming from the forest, occurring at regular intervals throughout the night. The sound, he claimed, seemed to move in a wide circle around their campsite, always maintaining the same distance from their tent. Sarah's statement corroborated her husband's account, but she provided additional details that investigators found particularly unsettling. She reported seeing brief flashes of light among the trees, too dim and brief to be flashlights, yet too bright to be natural phenomena. These lights appeared to correspond with the tapping sounds, creating what she described as a coordinated pattern of audio and visual disturbances. Jeannette's behavior that evening marked a significant departure from her usual demeanor. Her parents noted that she seemed unusually alert and kept checking her camera's display screen, scrolling through images she had taken earlier in the day. When asked about her photographs, she reportedly became evasive and protective of the camera, clutching it close to her chest. The morning of July 17th arrived with an oppressive stillness that David described as unnatural. The usual forest sounds of birds and insects had ceased entirely, replaced by what he characterized as a heavy, expectant silence. The family prepared breakfast over their portable stove, but the meal was interrupted by Jeannette's sudden announcement that she needed to retrieve something from the forest. Sarah's statement indicates that Jeannette claimed to have dropped her lens cap during the previous day's hike, though neither parent recalled seeing her use the cap or hearing her mention its loss. The teenager insisted she knew exactly where to find it, pointing toward a section of forest that led away from the established trails. Despite her parents' objections, Jeannette insisted the retrieval would take only minutes. She carried her camera with her, explaining that she wanted to take a few additional shots while searching for the missing equipment. David reluctantly agreed, but insisted she remain within shouting distance of the campsite. The last confirmed sighting of Jeannette Walters occurred at approximately 9:30 that morning, when Sarah observed her daughter walking purposefully into the tree line. The teenager appeared calm and focused, showing no signs of distress or disorientation. She carried her camera slung over her shoulder and moved with the confident stride of someone following a familiar path. 30 minutes passed before David called out to check on his daughter's progress. When no response came, he immediately entered the forest along the same route Jeannette had taken. The search area consisted of relatively open woodland with good visibility, making it difficult to understand how a person could simply vanish without leaving obvious tracks. David's initial search revealed something that investigators would later classify as highly unusual. Approximately 50 yards from the campsite, he discovered Jeannette's camera lying on the ground beneath a large pine tree. The device appeared undamaged, with no signs of being dropped or thrown. It had been placed carefully on a bed of pine needles, almost as if deliberately positioned for discovery. The camera's memory card contained 43 photographs from the family's camping trip, but the final image proved to be the most disturbing piece of evidence in the case. The photograph showed a dense cluster of trees, but the image quality was severely degraded, appearing as if it had been taken through heavy fog or smoke. Embedded within the distorted imagery were what appeared to be human silhouettes, though their exact nature remained unclear even after digital enhancement. Park rangers arrived at the campsite within 2 hours of David's emergency call. The initial search team, led by veteran ranger Michael Hayes, expanded the search radius to encompass a 1-mile area around the campsite. Despite the relatively open terrain and favorable weather conditions, no additional evidence of Jeannette's presence was discovered. The search operation expanded significantly over the following days, ultimately involving over 60 personnel from multiple agencies. Search and rescue teams employed tracking dogs, helicopter overflights, and ground-penetrating radar to scan the area. The dogs showed initial interest in the location where the camera had been found, but their behavior became increasingly erratic as they moved deeper into the forest. Handler Patricia Cole reported that her German Shepherd, Rex, exhibited signs of extreme distress when following Jeannette's scent trail. The dog would advance several yards into the forest before suddenly stopping, whimpering, and refusing to continue. Multiple dogs displayed similar behavior, consistently halting their search efforts at roughly the same distance from the campsite. The investigation took an unexpected turn when search teams discovered additional cameras scattered throughout the forest. These devices, all different brands and models, were found at various distances from the Walters campsite. Some appear to have been weathered by months or years of exposure, while others seemed relatively fresh. Each camera contained photographs, but the images shared the same degraded quality found in Jeannette's final picture. The photographs showed forest scenes, but all were corrupted by the same fog-like distortion and contained shadowy figures that defied clear identification. Technical analysis revealed that the distortion was not caused by camera malfunction or environmental factors, but appeared to be an inherent characteristic of the images themselves. Local park records revealed that 7 other disappearances had occurred in the Bowman Lake area over the past 15 years. Each case involved individuals who had been camping or hiking alone, and in every instance, cameras or recording equipment had been recovered with similar corrupted imagery. The pattern had been overlooked by investigators as an isolated. The most disturbing discovery came during the expanded search operation. Teams found a series of shallow depressions in the forest floor, arranged in a pattern that extended for several hundred yards through the trees. The depressions were roughly circular, each approximately 3 feet in diameter, and appeared to have been created by some form of repetitive impact or pressure. Soil analysis revealed that the depressions contained trace amounts of an unknown organic compound that did not match any known plant or animal material in the region. The substance appeared to be concentrated at the center of each depression, suggesting it had been deposited during whatever process created the ground disturbances. The investigation reached its most unsettling phase when researchers examined the timeline of the discovered cameras. Dating analysis revealed that the devices spanned a period of nearly 20 years, with the oldest camera dating back to 1981. The geographic distribution of the cameras suggested they had been deliberately placed along specific routes through the forest, creating what investigators described as a network of recording positions. Each camera location corresponded to areas where the soil depressions were most concentrated, suggesting a connection between the ground disturbances and the photographic evidence. The correlation was so precise that investigators could predict the location of additional cameras based on the pattern of depressions alone. The case files contain references to local Native American tribal members who warned park officials about the Bowman Lake area years before Jeannette's disappearance. These individuals, representing the Blackfeet Nation, described the region as a place where the boundary between worlds had been damaged, allowing entities from other realms to manifest in the physical world. Tribal elder Robert Standing Bear provided detailed warnings about specific locations within the forest, describing them as gathering points where these entities would collect what he termed image memories from human visitors. His descriptions of the entity behavior matched many of the phenomena reported by the Walters family and other witnesses. The most significant breakthrough in the investigation occurred when researchers discovered that the corrupted camera images could be partially decoded using specialized software. The enhanced images revealed that the shadowy figures were not random distortions, but appeared to be humanoid entities engaged in some form of coordinated activity. The entities appeared to be approximately 7 feet tall, with elongated limbs and movements that suggested they were not entirely solid. Their behavior in the photographs indicated they were aware of being recorded, as many images showed them positioned as if posing for the camera or reaching toward the lens. Analysis of the enhanced images revealed that the entities appeared to be manipulating the environment around them, causing trees to bend and rocks to shift position. The physical changes were subtle but consistent across multiple photographs, suggesting the entities possessed some form of reality-altering capabilities. The investigation was abruptly terminated in late August 1999, with all evidence transferred to federal custody. The official explanation cited jurisdictional issues and the need for specialized analysis capabilities, but park rangers involved in the search reported receiving explicit instructions not to discuss the case publicly. The Bowman Lake area was quietly redesignated as a restricted zone, with public access limited to guided tours during daylight hours only. The restriction remains in effect today, though official park documentation lists environmental protection as the primary justification for the access limitation. What do you think really happened to Jeannette Walters in those Montana woods, and what were those entities captured in the corrupted photographs? Subscribe to explore more cases that challenge our understanding of reality itself.